totally believe that.
Gary will know all the tea. Hey, internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is quite possibly the penultimate episode of Scribes and Scrolls. This is Book 7, still, Under a Red Moon, Chapter 103, Bloodstained Bloom. After all this time, the Black Lotus is within your grasp.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's happening. It's all happening.
And this is quite possibly the last time, second to last time, we will be meeting like this to play this game before the finale. And then that'll be the end of our story. After 3.5 years, I think.
4, I thought.
We started in March. Maybe 4 years already. I think it's 3.
So
I think it's 3.
we'll have to go back and look.
Half.
March 2021.
Oh yeah.
But still,
you were right.
That's wild.
That's
3 years and 5 months. Right. March what?
March 2021.
Oh, I thought you said in March, like a date.
Okay, let's calm down.
Well, I was going to say, for some reason I thought you said 12th, and it's 8/12. It's also 8:12 p.m. I don't know. There's weird things happening with numbers. All of that aside, a couple of quick announcements, and then we'll get into our game. Real quick. Totally forgot what I was going to say. Domain tomes. They're up there,
Hey.
over there, above Cari. They're a way that you, the audience, can have an impact on the game. They're the domain dice for this particular campaign. And as they get those through subscriptions, resubscription, gift subs, cheering 500 bits, tipping $5, becoming a Ko-fi member, all that kind of stuff goes towards that. They can spend 1 to re-roll a check and use the second result, or they can draw 1 hero card, or they can spend 3 to avoid death. Can only be used once per player per session, or you can spend 5 for change of fate to adjust the level of success of any check by 1 degree up or down for either the players or the GM. Turn a critical hit into a regular success, or turn a critical failure into a regular, or turn a regular failure into a critical failure. If you're feeling spicy against your GM. All of those things are things that can happen. Something I don't know why I only just realized this today, but here in the year of our Lord 2024, it is officially in November, but it is 10 years since I uploaded the first ever
What the heck?
video under Mini Terrain Domain. Now, the channel technically shows as having been up for a couple months prior to that. There's like 2 in-process videos, but that was when I first created it. It was called Terraforming Norman.
I love Terraforming Norman. That's awesome.
That was my first idea for a terrain crafting stream. Gary does not like that.
God. In another universe, Terraforming Norman took off.
Yeah,
and
this
was
would have
like
been
mega popular.
Welcome to TFN. This is TFN Jake.
This is TFN Jake.
It sounds like a tabloid news channel. But yeah, this is 10 years, and to celebrate that, I've had a shop up on Ko-fi for a little while, where I am selling things like 3D printed, custom painted skull dice towers from Ars Moriendi. I'm an official Mythic merchant. But I've also been listing, this is the newest one, the Earth Elemental Lord from the Pathfinder Deep Cuts. These are all for sale. There's quite a few minis up there, one of a kind, available for sale. And if you follow the link that's in chat, or you use the code MTDTEN, that's MTD10, everything in the shop is 25% off for 1 week. 1 week only. It goes from now until this coming Sunday. So you can get everything that you want for 25% off. So head on over, check that out, see what kind of things we got, and if there's something you like there, buy one, buy two, buy them all. Help me pay for things. Yep, that's that one. Content warning, the usuals. Adults playing fantasy characters. You'll hear descriptive graphic depictions of violence. Adult language, usually from Cari.
No lies detected.
You'll see, hear graphic depictions of violence, all that kind of stuff. But know that we have safety tools in place. We've had session zeros. We've had RPG checklists with lines and veils. And we use a traffic light system. We encourage you to use safety tools at your table. Use session zeros, whether you're playing in a one-shot, whether you are playing... doesn't matter if you're streaming a game or you're playing at home alone with your friends. You should still look out for each other's safety. Make sure everybody is on the same page with lines and veils and that you have those safety tools in place. You can check out the link that just popped up and will pop up periodically during the stream. bit.ly/TTRPG Safety Toolkit, all one word. Please do check that out. Finally, before we get into the recap and the game proper, I just want to remind you that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether you believe it or not. It is true. There are any number of reasons why you or somebody you know might be struggling. They might need somebody to talk to. Sometimes the hardest part of that is just figuring out where do you get the help from? How do you find that? I try to make it as easy as possible. All you got to do is type in !help, just like I did, or watch the bottom of the screen, and a couple URLs will show up. Findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those sites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, for almost the last time, Cari, what time is it?
It's time to find some paths, bitches.
That didn't sound quite
I feel like I'm like I feel like it's like a sad thing. You're making it sad. It's time to find some paths, bitches.
So, the party consists of Flip the Goblin, Teera the Sun-Maned, and her brother, Cain. You've made it to the monastery, the Temple of the Black Lotus. You've made your way through the temple, finding an old friend, finding a new potential ally, creating diversions so that you did not have to fight your way through waves of Rosgadai monks, instead distracting them with a summoned dragon. You found your way through the secret passage leading down into the lower levels, where you have faced 2 of 3 trials. You faced Mirror, and you faced Flame. Mirror proved to be relatively untroublesome once you figured out how to get through and shatter the mirror, so you didn't have to fight reflections of yourself after fighting a reflective version of Flip. Flame proved to be a little more problematic, mostly potentially for Cain, but a couple of you took some blasts from some fireballs. Cain nearly fell into the 20 feet down into the burning inferno. But Flip, with his magical flight, and Teera, who has fiendish wings that she can summon, you all made it through there to emerge once again in the little foyer with the 3-armed statue, whose mirror has been broken and whose flame is now put out. All that remains is the final trial of Shadow. You opened up the door and looked into a room of pure darkness. That is where we pick up as you are standing at the threshold of this door, looking in on darkness. What would you like to do?
Well, Flip, can you see anything into there?
No.
Well, can't you see in the dark, typically?
Typically, yes. But this is, magical. Hey!
Advanced darkness.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where they put in a trap that, like, resists dark vision because everybody says, oh, I have dark vision. People don't like that.
Well, all right. I guess I'll go in front this time. So, because I'm kind of a wall, you know.
I mean, true. I have a better idea, shockingly.
Teera kind of rolls her eyes and she's like, "What?"
Flip goes onto his pack and pulls out a 10-foot pole. And he's like, why don't we lead the way with this?
Oh, that's a hell of an idea, Flip. Where the hell did you get that? And where the hell were you keeping it?
I've had it the whole time. You just never noticed. In fact, technically, I have 3 of them, but I only feel the need to bring out 1. You know, there was this one time I used it in a room that was very slippy slidey, and I made a slalom out of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I lashed them all together and I made a sled. It's very impressive.
Oh, very ingenious, Flip. So do you want me to hold it, or do you want to?
I think I'll hang on to my own pole, thank you.
I suppose you wouldn't want to lose track of that. Well, I mean, do you want to go first then, or I mean, you can technically poke out in front of you, even if I was first.
So, no, I can't even go down that road. No, I'll go first.
Fine. And Teera literally just steps backwards over top of Flip, and he's now in the lead.
As Teera steps back, Flip kind of looks up and he's like, the jokes just write themselves. And he's going to walk forward and he's going to start using his pole to tap the walls and the ceilings to see what he can feel.
Okay.
Good thought.
So... I'm trying to see...
While Jake is trying to see something, check us out on teespring.com. At teespring.com, we have all kinds of great t-shirts like the one I'm wearing, maybe the one Jake is wearing, and all kinds of others. You can get them on t-shirts, tank tops, stickers, mugs, and all kinds of other great stuff. Teespring.com. Follow the link below in the description to get there.
Okay. So basically having a 10-foot pole allows you to use the seek action at a distance rather than directly in front of you.
Nice.
The magical darkness is going to give you a circumstance bonus of -4 in your checks. And so how far into the room are you stepping as you see?
Just sort of into the threshold, and then I'm gonna tap my pole on everything I can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception at -4.
You roll perception at -4.
Can you tell me what to do?
27.
And I'm going to count these as you're checking for walls, ceilings, floor.
Yeah.
You tap the ceiling, nothing happens. You tap the floor, nothing happens. You feel solid floor. You tap to the left and to the right, and you find emptiness.
Oh. Oh,
No walls.
it's a wider little room there. Left or right? Okay. Um, I'll take one step to the wait. Before I breach the threshold, as it were, is the symbol what is it? Remind me what the statue that has the darkness symbol looks like.
The third arm is covering its eyes.
Oh. All right. Yeah, so I'll go in and step to the left and then do the whole tippy-tappy thing.
Okay, so you go in, you step to the left. Teera, you and Kane following in where Flip was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I would follow right behind Flip, and I imagine
Alright.
Kane would follow behind me.
Teera,
What?
while I have my hands on my pole, do you want to grab my rope so you don't get lost?
Yeah, I
Again?
suppose. And Teera would hang on to the toddler leash, and she would hand a piece back to Kane also.
He takes it. Another perception check.
This isn't my first party in complete darkness with ropes and poles.
I'll bet.
Giggity.
18.
Okay. You reach to the left, to the right, up and down, 10 feet in front of you, and you feel solid ground in every direction except to your right, which is the direction you stepped to the left. So to your right was already there was nothing. Now you're further away from that original nothing, so it's not surprising.
Okay,
But you do feel that not even a full 10 feet, about 5 feet away to your left is a wall. But in front of you is also solid floor, and appears, as far as you can tell with your 10-foot pole, to continue moving.
Then I will step forward as opposed to go left. No, you know what? I'm going to go left toward the wall.
All right, you step left one more time, and you can feel, even just as with your voice, you can sort of hear that reverberation. You're standing in a corner. Wall to your left, wall to your back, open to your right, and straight ahead.
Oh no!
What? What?
They put Flippy in a corner.
Oh, God's Flip. Well, just keep going. You're doing very well.
Do you know
Teera,
how
like,
much?
awkwardly pats him on the back.
Do you know how much people would pay for high-quality improvisational comedy of this nature? A lot.
I'm sure they would in the right circumstances.
And you've been getting it for free for months, days, weeks. I don't know, however long I've known you.
Yeah. I guess color me ungrateful. Color me
that's
ungrateful,
a throwback
I guess.
to some old games with Cari.
You have you know, you experience something so often you start to take it for granted, I suppose.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it's human nature.
It's almost bullshit, but I half believe you. And then it's going to follow the wall forward.
My God. It's like a high-stakes game of fucking Battleship.
All right, so you're in the corner and you're going to move forward now?
Yes. So, yeah. I went left twice, now I'm going forward once.
Okay. Yep, that's going to be a perception check for each step.
Well, you're a perception check. Okay.
Can I make a perception check just to look around as we're doing this and see if I can see anything or perceive anything or hear anything?
12.
Ball on your left.
Okay.
Nothing on your right. Floor and ceiling. You feel
Great.
solid.
I will walk forward along the wall again.
Okay.
Can I make a general perception check as we're moving through here? See if I hear anything or.
Yeah. Just
Perfect.
general
I actually got a 34.
with the -4.
30. 30.
I'm a little worried that you had to think when you said 30.
Sorry, I
subtracting
don't
4
have
from
kids
30.
until next Monday, so I got time.
You can tell that the space that you're in, because you're following Flip and you've kind of moved now into the corner, that you can get the sense for the wall, and you think there might be a wall not too much further straight ahead opposite the door in the direction you guys are traveling, but that the room seems to open up more to your right. How far, you're not sure.
Okay.
But you can hear that slight echoiness of a larger space that is empty, but it also doesn't echo very much because it's, stone floors, ceilings, walls, underground,
Okay. Yeah.
dark,
Yeah. Okay.
cold.
All right. Let's pause for a moment. Flip is gonna reach into his bag while holding his pole, and he's going to grab some copper coins. And he's gonna, as we all recognize, Flip is a genius. So he's gonna flip a coin forward, and then he's going to turn roughly 15 degrees and flip another coin in roughly 15 degrees until he's done 180.
Wow.
All around. Not really, it's just going to be 90 because he doesn't need to go behind him. So he's just going to like flip coins and see where they go. He's going to take this to the next level.
Okay.
That's such a good idea.
I'll have you roll your perception check without the negative. Give me 3.
Okay.
We'll divide the 90 degrees into 30-degree
Okay, so the first is 27.
Okay.
The second is 22.
Okay.
And the third is 24.
Ooh.
The first coin you throw goes what sounds like maybe about 10 feet, and you hear it hit the floor and almost immediately hit a wall.
Okay.
The next couple coins you throw seem to go roughly the same distance before hitting something. It could be the wall, it could be something else that's in that direction, you're unsure. The last coin, you hear it sort of bounce, roll, and then you hear at a distance you're not quite sure, but it's definitely more than 10 feet. You hear that sort of that rolling and then sort of
Yep.
indicating
no, I get
more openness to your right.
Okay. So I'm going to keep following the wall.
Okay. I'm going to roll in your coin perception check.
Okay.
Using your 10-foot pole, you, within one step, you hit wall in front of you. It's another corner.
Okay.
Otherwise, same thing. Ceiling, left wall, now a wall in front of you, floor, nothing to your right. You can be under that perception check. You can be in that corner in 2 steps.
Then I will do that.
Okay.
And then I will just keep following the wall.
Okay, now I would like another -4 perception check.
I'm going to use a coin as well.
Okay.
Just, that is a 25.
So following the wall, you turn, and it's interesting. You reach out with your 10-foot pole, and where you go to feel to your left, as you're now facing, you've now made Yeah, you're facing west.
Sure.
You go to tap the wall, and for a moment there, you don't feel wall, but then there's something. It's like immediately to your left is wall. 5 feet in front of that, it seems to open up a little bit, but there's something there. Like there's an interrupt, and then there's something there, and it feels a little bit different. It still sounds like stone, but it has a different quality to it. And tossing a coin, you actually hear, before it would even hit the floor, you hear this coin hit something, bounce off, and then hit the ground and roll. There's something ahead and slightly to the left. Something solid.
What?
Something there.
Like something alive?
I don't know. I'm not touching it. Jeez Louise, what a ridiculous question. It is completely dark. How would I know if it's alive?
What do you want me to do about it?
I'm just telling you.
Thanks.
Because I don't want it to be said that I'm not an effective communicator. Because you've said in the past that sometimes I don't talk enough and I don't explain my genius plans and you don't get buy-in and
I have never, even once since I've known you, say that you did not talk enough.
That may be true, but I'm sure you thought it because of the lyrical sound of my voice, my always wise commentary, my witty banter.
Teera's like searching the darkness and not seeing anything and just like, oh, what do we do?
Flip is gonna try and like spin some coins around the corner and see if he can get them to bump into that thing that has found.
Okay. Do another perception check. I'm gonna have you do it straight, no negative. Kind of are aiming at something now.
27.
Yeah, you toss a couple coins, and there's definitely the sense you get with this is it feels almost like there's an alcove. There's an alcove carved out of this wall, and something is standing in the alcove.
Oh God!
It has a hardened like it sounds solid when you hit it with the coin. But you hear that sound. I can't think of the best way to describe it. It sounds less. So when a coin hits the floor, the stone floor, it has a certain sound to it. Imagine that sound, but a little. I don't really want to say hollow, but I guess hollower. You get a little more ring of your coin off of it, and it's something that's solid, but it doesn't have the firmness of the ground and other stones around it. It could be stone.
It's almost like it's
metal,
a statue.
Could be a statue.
What if it's one of those
very still?
I mean,
it's one of those statues that like shoots fire.
Teera, behind you, you hear.
I think you're getting noise gated. Describe the sound.
Okay, you hear. Go ahead and make a perception check, just straight up.
You hear the sound of fucking darts flying out of the wall at Cade. Hey, nat 20.
You recognize the sound.
For a total of 36.
You recognize the sound. This is for a total of 30 what?
A 32 with the -4.
No, there's no -4.
Then 36.
So that's a critical success. So you recognize the sound followed by the smell. Kane appears to be, though you cannot see any effect of this, Kane has used a flint and steel to light a torch. And now the torch is burning. You can smell the torch burning. You can hear the flame on the torch. And then you hear Kane go, huh. Damn it.
Oh yeah, you definitely overthought the creators of this trial with that one, Kane.
Listen,
mundane torch.
How many times have we struggled at closed doors only to find out that all you had to do was turn the handle? I thought we hadn't tried lighting a torch. Well, now we know. It doesn't work.
Now we know. Now we
And you
know.
hear the sound of the torch being dropped on the ground and him stepping on it and the fire. You smell that torch just been put out smell.
Smoky.
And it might not hurt except for your pride, the embarrassment of a ridiculous idea. But far be it for me to poo-poo your ideas,
Listen,
King.
at this time, it's just the blind leading the blind.
Literally.
I don't like that phrase.
Okay. What do we do?
At this point, none of us can see where we're going, but we're trusting you with a stick in the dark, and we're tied by a toddler rope.
Listen,
The room is open this way.
I need you to understand something, okay? There is no better experience than being in the dark with my pole and ropes. And for you, it's free. So
Has
I
Flip
would just
turned around?
calm down.
Teera, you feel a little bit of tension on the rope that Kane's holding as he's walking away from you. You hear his foot step and slide, like he's kind of reaching out with his foot to tap the ground, and he's trying to step further into the room.
Kane, don't.
Listen,
We're following Flip. This plan has worked well so far.
at this rate, we're going to be trapped in this place when the moon goes down.
Okay, it's
So,
been like
I just
24 seconds. I don't understand why you're so impatient. Like, really?
He's okay. Hold
I
on,
just
both
rolled
of you.
a reflex save for Kane,
Oh God. Oh God.
and he
Did you
rolled
make it?
a 24. And you hear him as he goes, "Listen, I can hear that the room is open this way." You hear another tap and slide. This is just as effective, and it's a lot bloody quicker. All you gotta do is... Oh, shit. And you hear something, like stone
God.
sliding against stone, and then you hear him go,
Fucking pressure
What?
plate.
Kane, you suddenly feel tension on the rope, and then the tension is loosed as Kane goes, Gah! Kane is going to take 10 bludgeoning damage.
Dumbass.
I rolled to see if he would actually attempt to do this, and he is kind of dumb. And then he is going to take... this is weird. He doesn't necessarily take it. The trap makes an attack on him at 32, which does beat his DC, or his AC. So he is going to take 17 points of additional damage as you hear him go, "Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! I found a hole. There's spikes in it.
Dumbass.
Mm.
Oh shit. Are you okay? Are you stuck anywhere? Or everywhere?
I have a couple holes I didn't have a moment ago.
Shit.
And I
Flip,
have
stay right there for a
less
second.
blood than I did a moment ago.
Teera would like lay down. So he was presumably like right behind her when this happened.
Yes, and he was stepping to your right. And he stepped about 10 feet. When this happened.
So Teera would like take her sword out, and she would kind of like tap like a walking cane, and she would try to find the edge of this thing, and then when she does, she puts her sword away. If she does, I guess, do I need to make a check of any kind, or can I just kind of find my way?
mean, knowing the direction the rope went, all you have to do is feel the rope and follow it.
Yeah.
And you come right to the edge of those. You can feel the floor has dropped away in a 10-foot section. And Kane sounds like he's Kane sounds like he is I want to make sure he's right. He is 20 feet deep.
20 feet deep. Okay. So Teera would go up to, or would holler back up to Flip and just be like, "Hey, can you give me a little bit more of this rope? Give me a little slack."
Why?
Because
What
Cain,
happened?
Cain fell down into a pit. And
Cain fell down into a pit?
Yes, and it's deep, and we need to get him. We need to get him out.
Was there anything at the bottom of the pit?
Yes, spikes.
Spikes. Oh my goodness. You know, the last time I went into a dungeon and somebody fell into a pit with spikes, the spikes were covered with super tetanus.
Teera yanks the rope, whether it's unattached to Flip or not. I hope he gets yoinked a little bit.
Oh boy.
And she kind of starts like lowering it down to Cain.
Presumably this
She's
is
like-
a 50-foot rope.
Yeah.
They only come in 50-foot lengths. Teera is like not laying on her. Maybe she is. She's laying on her stomach. No, she's not. She's sitting on her knees. She wants to be like ready to like braced, stable. Like, Cain, a rope's coming. Can you grab it? Can you find it?
It takes him a little bit of fumbling. You hear him holding back. Ugh. Hold on a second. And you hear this. What is. You can only imagine is the sound of a spike being pulled through his body. Okay. I suppose it's better out than in.
Well, it serves you right for not listening. And for trying to go off on your own when this is a team effort, and now we've wasted even more time. And Teera, like, if he's grabbed it, Teera is like trying to slowly like pull.
He will work with you, and you're crouched down, and he's working with. It'll take a few moments. While she's pulling Cain out of the pit, what are you doing, Flip?
I guess I'll advance toward that little spot and probe it with my pole.
To which the hole or the statue thing?
The statue thing.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of move forward, tapping with your cane, and it only takes a few taps for you to realize you are tapping against stone that is standing still in the room, unyielding, definitely some kind of a statue. To further be able to identify it, you would need to use your
Cast
hands.
detect magic? Okay.
Or you could attempt to detect magic? I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's a cantrip. I'm gonna cantrip the shit out of this.
Hell yeah.
Stony pole.
Do it.
You detect. Wait, you send out a pulse that registers presence of magic. You receive no information beyond the presence or absence. Use more magic you're fully aware of, such as items, blah blah blah. You detect illusion magic only if that has a lower rank than the rank. What level are you casting it at?
Just the basic level.
Oh wait, it's a cantrip. Or,
Yeah.
So you're not heightening it at all, though.
No, that seems silly this time.
I will say that with this detect magic, you're able to sort of, you know, that there's magical darkness that is that is filling the space, so you can ignore the magical darkness. Ignoring the magical darkness has the effect of a fog being removed from your senses. There's definitely magic emanating from the statue. It's beyond that, at this level, without hiding it, you can't really tell what kind it is, but once you ignore the magic of the darkness, this is the only other magic thing you sense.
Well, you know, sometimes I think to myself, God, The people I travel with are so lucky to have me. It's almost like I'm a multi-tool for various problems of the combat, the mental, the puzzle.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing I can say is you're welcome for me.
Yep, Flip, you're God's gift to this adventure. And Teera's like still pulling Kane up out of this pit.
All right, well, I don't really want to kind of like feel this magical pull up. I guess I'm just gonna poke at it a little bit with the pole, the 10-foot pole, the 10-foot non-magical pole, and see if I can figure out what's what.
I will let you roll with the -4 penalty. It's going to be a high DC because you're trying to suss out a statue through a wooden pole.
Sure, I will make an attempt to do that, and I will hope for the best. Okay. I wish I could share my screen because I rolled a fucking 20.
Oh my God! Let's
Like
go,
I'm gonna put
dude.
I'm putting it right.
Take
on
a
my
screen
right
do
now.
something.
No,
Yes, I
removing
need
the
to see it.
camera. Removing the
He's just
camera.
going to turn
We're
his
doing it.
camera.
Gary, don't fucking play. Gary, don't fucking play, dude. Let's go.
Look at that.
I'm so proud of you.
My
Well
perception,
done.
and you can't actually see the number of the
I
die
can see the
because of
total.
reflection, but you can see the total, and you can see my perception at the top.
Hell yeah, man.
Nobody
Hell
will
yeah.
accuse me of, although I may have ruined my camera now.
That was.
But it was worth it.
Proof. It was totally
Did
worth
you-
it, dude.
Did you unplug your camera?
I think I did. Yep. But worth it. Worth it. 100%.
I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so proud of you.
So, with a critical success, Flip is a writer.
Yes, he is.
Not
A
only is
prolific
Flip
writer.
a writer, we've established that Flip is the kind of writer who puts just as much effort into his prose and his poetry as he does into the actual physical act of writing, using different types of writing instruments, using different types of rare and expensive inks, as indicated by this slightly purple stain on Teera's arm from using incredibly expensive and rare purple worm infused ink to jot a note down.
It was important. There was a password.
Because of this 10-foot pole becomes like an extension of Flip's arm, as you are able to use your mind's eye to trace the edges of this statue until you are able to suss out that it is a the statue is very similar to the one out in the foyer, except it only has 2 arms. But this statue, you find one arm at its side and the other arm is up covering one eye. So it's a statue of a demon covering one of its eyes with one of its hands.
Okay. And the other eye is clear.
There's nothing blocking it as far as you can tell, and the other arm is
Okay.
down at its side.
All right. Well, I don't know what this means, but I'm going to reset my Zoom. I'll be right back.
Okay. I guess while this is happening, while Flip is being Daredevil, Teera manages to get Kane up out of the pit. And she's like, "Listen, you need to just go with the program. We haven't led you astray so far." What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh my God, Gary cloned himself. Jesus Christ.
The problem
Hello.
with this is I can't kick you or else it'll kick you.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try something.
Oh boy. Ooh.
You're still here.
Hey, I like myself.
Hey,
I
It was,
Mazel.
it was worth it. I have no regrets.
I put other you in the waiting room, and then other you just disappeared. So
I am also here, but on the stream it looks like just a mini version of the window. There I am.
Listen.
Thank God.
I'm a professional stream producer.
Damn right you
I
are.
don't make
Damn right you
mistakes.
are.
That was not a mistake. That was a peek into the process.
Absolutely, a little
All right.
peek behind the curtain.
So,
Listen,
yes, you were talking
just
to the
gotta
king.
go with you just gotta go with the program. We've wasted more time because you wanted to go off on your own. You gotta be a team player here.
We didn't waste any time. I got hurt. Well, Flip's still doing whatever he's doing over there, feeling up the walls or whatever. I learned that there was a trap here in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, and if there's one, there's probably more. So just stick with us, huh? We'll get where we're going, and we'll get there in decent enough time. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need to trust Flip on this one.
If we don't start moving faster, we are going to run out of time.
I'll try to bully him a little bit. But don't go off by yourself again. That was dumb.
I was attached by this stupid rope. Wasn't that going off by myself? But you're right.
Yeah, Teera sighs.
Stupid.
I understand why you want to hurry up. I get it. But you have to be patient. You have to be smart. And Teera would kind of help him to his feet, and we would kind of find our way back to Flip.
You're at this point. You're only a couple feet away, about 5 feet away from Flip.
All right.
I'm
gonna say
find our way back to Flip.
I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say two things,
Oh,
and then I'm gonna leave it at that.
great.
Okay?
Please.
Okay. The first thing, we've been here for like 36 seconds, so maybe calm your tits a little. Okay.
Great.
The second is, how often do you find a door in the middle of a room? Is it usually in the floor of a foyer, or is it against a wall? Just a goddamn thought.
It's
Okay?
Okay.
Okay? Just saying. Use your brain. That's all that's all I want for you.
I am using my brain.
Okay.
From the
We're not
foyer,
talking anymore.
we went into 2 different trials, both of which were corridors leading from east to west. It stands to reason that this corridor also moves from east to west. You've been leading us south. I turned to the right, which is to the west. It stands to reason that if there are no walls in this direction, perhaps it's a corridor.
Flip is going to use the pole, and he's gonna poke at the statue's arm that's down.
You poke at its arm. It doesn't move.
Not at all.
Nope.
What
It
is
is
it
a
anyway,
stone
Flip? What are you
statue.
looking at?
It's a statue of the demon from the front, but only one of its eyes is covered. I thought maybe we could move the the eye or the other hand to the eye and then cover both like it is outside, but it doesn't seem like that's the trick to this. There is magic on this statue, but I don't know what kind or what it's doing.
Can Teera like reach her way and like feel for this statue's arm?
You're just a few feet away, so you could reach out
Yeah.
in the direction.
Teera
And-
pulls as hard as she fucking can on the arm that's down and is trying to
Make
like.
an athletics check.
Okay. Athletics. That's a 35.
You snap the arm off of the statue.
Shit. Never mind. Nothing. It didn't work. And Teera like quietly leads it up against the wall.
Okay. Flip is going to continue.
We should proceed.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with the statue. So
Why
can
don't you
I'm going to try
your
and make
own
a,
hand?
Cover the eye with my own hand?
I was just trying to do as
Okay.
Flip said and be smart.
That is smart. And Teera would cover the eye with her hand just for a second.
As you reach up and find its face, you feel the hand that's covering the eye and reach over to the other side. And as soon as you cover the eye, the sensation is as if you are slowly opening your eyes. The room you are in is no longer covered in magical darkness. You are standing in front of a statue across from the door. The room you are in is 20 feet wide from east to west and is 25 feet across, except for this 10-foot wide alcove that dips in about 5 feet, and the statue stands there looking across at the door. You can see immediately 5 feet in front of and then over to the west a 10-foot section of floor in front of a 10-foot wide opening of a corridor. You can see the pit that Cain fell in. You can see down into the bottom, see the spikes covered in blood. You can see the blood trail up the wall and along the edges of the pit where you pulled him up. And you can see Cain now standing there next to you, holding his side where the spikes pierced him. This room is clear. On the other side of the pit is a 10-foot wide corridor that leads into more darkness. Just to be 100% sure you understand, I'm going to capture the foyer and the area that is uncovered from darkness.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to try to. I can remember how computers work. And I'll, for the sake of you and our audience, I'll drop it in the public side of Scribes. Scrolls Discord.
Yay.
Boom. So the bottom one is the room you guys are in. You are standing in front of the statue. The red rectangle or red square is, of course, the pit trap that Cain fell.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Well, Cain, hell of an idea.
Oh, look at that. A corridor leading west.
Oh, hey, look at that. A pit that your blood's at the bottom of.
Teera laughs under her breath at both of these fuckers.
You could just as easily have fallen in that.
But I didn't.
All right. Well,
You know what my dad used to say?
Shut
what
up,
did
you
your
little
dad used to
goblin.
say?
I mean, he was also a goblin. He would have just said, shut up. But you say, close never catches a rabbit.
Teera
And
laughs,
I wasn't close.
and she's like getting like close to the edge of this pit. She wants to like kitty corner jump into that hallway.
You wouldn't even have to really jump.
She's got to kind of like make a skippy step.
I'm going to ask you to roll a straight up athletics or acrobatics. Relatively low DC, but on a critical fail, you're falling in the pit.
Athletics 30.
Yeah, you're not falling in the pit.
Yeah.
So you only fail on a critical fail?
Yes.
That's great. I rolled a 2.
Well, remember a critical fail is just 10 less than the DC.
I got 18.
That's pretty good.
It's still 10 less than the DC.
Is it? Oh,
No, it's not, because
Okay.
I said it was a low DC.
He said it was a low DC.
I said it was
Jeez
a low
Louise.
It was a 50.
Oh, my goodness.
Winning is hard.
I like to think there's a moment, though, with, let's see, Cain's 21, so Cain gets a 40. Cain, like, doesn't even bother holding the wall. He just sort of sidesteps it. I like to think that Flip, there's just a moment where, like, your foot slips a little bit. Whether you did it on purpose to make it look like, oh, look at me, I almost fell. But you guys are now standing in front of more magical dark.
All right. Well,
Here's what I would like to do. Keep us from spending the next 20 minutes rolling 15 or 20 perception
going
checks.
5 feet at a time.
I would like you to give me a general plan of attack first. What is your approach for the rest of this room, knowing you are heading pretty much westward?
Just gonna
I would
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, do what we did last time.
Yeah, hug the wall and
Huh?
poke it with my pole and hope for the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
like you do.
doing that, I would like 3. Yeah, I would like 3 separate perception checks.
Okay. From each of us?
With -4?
With -4. This is going to be Flip, who's leading the way with his stick.
27?
Let me enunciate that. Who is leading the way with his stick.
With his pole.
Pole, yes.
18?
18 for the first one.
No, 27 for the first one.
Oh, sorry. 27 for the first one. Okay. Second one?
18 for the second one.
18 for the second one.
Critical for the third, 29.
Okay.
20, 33 minus.
So you're hugging the wall, you're making your checks left, right, top, bottom, and then you're sliding forward another step, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So your first, you go about 5 or 10 feet, and then you feel that the wall suddenly curves back south again. You follow it around, and it only goes about 10 feet, and you hit wall again. And you find for the next 20 or 30 feet, you tap, 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 you feel wall on the left, ceiling above, floor below, nothing to the right. The room appears to be open in front of you and to the right, and the wall is on your left. So you're continuing along this wall. Tap, 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 tap. You hear the shuffle and step of Teera and Kane behind you. You get about 30 feet, and you hit that that second section. I need you, Flip. After you tap and you slide forward, I need you to make a reflex saving throw.
26.
Describe your reaction as you go to step forward and you feel the stones fall away in front of you, or below you rather, and you barely prevent yourself from falling into the pit trap.
So Flip steps forward and he's like, "Oh my god, I was almost Kane."
And Teera, you and Kane hear the sound of stones falling about 20 feet and collapsing and sort of echoing up into the chamber.
Shit. Flip, are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, totally fine. But there's a pit in front of us. And I'm going to try and poke the other edge. I'm assuming it's more than 10 feet.
It's 10 feet across the pit.
Okay.
You can suss out that you have found another 10-foot pit. It is blocking your progression forward along the wall, though. It means you have to...
Okay, so then I'll go around the edge of the pit.
Okay. So, using what you know of the location of the pit, you lead the others around the edge of the pit and find yourself back at the wall. Continuing on, you only go for about 15 more feet. And then the wall moves northward again. This is where your third, final, and critical success is going to come from. Or reveal to you, rather. As you move about 10 feet forward, you find the wall curving to the, or cutting to the left again. And you feel your tapping with your 10-foot pole interrupted by another statue. Feeling around with it, you feel the same thing. Identical statue. One arm covering one eye, the other arm at its side, one eye uncovered.
Okay, I'll put my hand over the eye.
This time, as the darkness slowly falls away, You see that you are in a room that is 10, 20, 30, 40, about 55 or so feet long.
Ooh.
And 30 feet wide. You are standing in front of a statue that has a door behind it. And I will now reveal to you.
Hey, Teera, remember that time I almost fell in a pit?
Yeah, I do. Just like a second ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really scary.
Would have been awkward, but I didn't.
It's in the Discord.
didn't.
The one at the bottom is the one that
Nice.
you almost fell in.
Uh-huh.
The other 3 are the ones you avoided.
Holy shit, Flip.
So you're saying my path avoided most of the traps?
Yeah.
Oh,
Flip. That was very
Weird.
perceptive of you. Holy shit.
Also, just so you know, you just hit the DC for the
Oh my god.
for not falling in the pit.
you know what they
Oh.
say? Just hitting the DC is enough.
What's
Yep.
a DC?
A DC? It's like a comic book.
What's a comic book?
It's like a graphic novel.
What? You know what? I feel like this isn't going anywhere. We should probably go.
Now,
through
wait
that
a
door.
minute.
You
What's the
think we
graphic novel?
It's a novel with pictures in it. That's why it's
Hey!
called a graphic
That's
novel.
my kind
should-
of
Mister,
reading.
let's not waste any more time.
Also, I just want to say, what do they call a doctor who got C's in school?
What?
A doctor.
I like that one, Flip. That's funny. That's funny as hell. And Tira's laughing. He's like, well, should we open up that door? Should we check it for traps? Or should I just do the Tira method then?
Well, I can try and check it for traps. So is the idea we have to like crawl behind the statue to get through the
Like-
door?
You don't have to
Or do we have
crawl
to push
behind
it?
There's room to get around
Oh,
the statue.
okay. So then
There's
I'll
to get
check.
around.
I'll check the door.
It's
for
just like
traps.
the 2 previous challenges. There was
Oh,
a statue in
Right.
front of the door.
I'll-
You're able to move
I'm
around
just gonna
behind
open
it.
the door.
Yep.
This feels very Skyrim crypt.
You just open the door.
I do.
Excellent.
Flip did say that.
Yep. You open the door, and what you see this time is not re-entry into the foyer with a demon statue, but instead you are standing on a small ledge at the edge of a lake. This very small lake is 20... At its widest point, looks like it's about 50 or 60 feet from east to west. Sorry, not at its widest point. At its widest point, east to west. It is about 80 feet north to south. So you're sort of at the southern or southeastern edge of this underground lake. Looking to the northwest, you see a small island roughly 20 feet in diameter.
Mm-hmm.
And in the center of this island, bathed in the crimson glow, the blood moon far above, you see the bloodstained bloom, the black lotus.
Oh.
You have to cross about 30 or 40 feet of water, get to the to the island where the flower is.
Wow. There it is. It's right there.
Yeah, I see it.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Well, hold on. Wait. We have to make sure that the water is safe, or that there's no traps, or that there's no barrier.
Stick your
or-
pole in it.
Flip, stick your pole in it.
Okay, I'll stick my pole in the water and toss some coins in.
You stick your pole down. There's about a foot or so difference from this ledge down into the water. The water itself is maybe 18 inches deep, 24, somewhere in there.
Wow, so we
For
have to swim.
medium-sized humans, it's about knee deep. For Flip, it's probably closer to waist deep. Well, that looks perfectly
Okay.
fine.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and grab some food. And I'm gonna chuck some food in the water at
Make sure it
various
doesn't just get
points.
piranha'd. Smart.
Okay. You're hoping for some ducks to feed. And
Making
Teera,
sure
you
no-
feel Kane pressing against your back. You and Flip are
Teera-
blocking him from getting through the door.
Teera turns around and like grabs a piece of his armor and be like, just fucking wait.
It's right there.
I know it is, but that's why we have to be patient. They wouldn't put it right there, out in the middle of everything like that, if they didn't want us to just jump at it. It's probably a fucking trap.
Did you not remember the 3 trials we just had to go through? The fiery pit I almost fell in, the actual spiked pit I fell in, fighting a
Oh, you mean
reflection
all
of
the
Flip.
traps?
Oh, I'm sorry,
the
I can't
traps that have been
fly
around
over
here?
everything.
All right, just be patient. Give him just a couple of seconds to check it out.
Flip, there's nothing reacting to you throwing coins or throwing anything else in the water.
All right, well, let's just go, I guess.
Okay. And Teera kind of gives Kane a look like, see, and I would jump down into the little water, into the little fountain.
As soon as you step into the water, you hear within the room, "Leave this place. Omanazusa will take his vengeance. You do not belong here. Your presence defiles the sanctity of this temple."
Touch nothing but the lamp. Okay, we're effed. So Teera would kind of stand there for a second and like turn back over to Kane and to Flip and be like, "Oh."
It's a voice. Don't see any. Kane jumps down into the water next to you. He does take a moment when he jumps in. He does sort of land, and then kind of you see him tense up a little bit as he kind of looks around like.
I give Kane one look, and then I just start fucking sprinting at the island, at the little island in the middle, going as fast as I can.
He's gonna run right alongside you. Flip, what are you doing?
Oh, Jake, that's a great question. Such a great question. Okay, I'm gonna maybe do something crazy. Describe to me the island.
Irregularly shaped, but roughly 20 feet in diameter.
And it's about 40 feet away from this ledge?
Roughly, yes.
Okay. I am going to... all right. I'm going to reach into my... They're trudging through the water, so I've got some time. I'm going to reach into my pack. And I'm going to pull out a piton. And I'm going to drive the piton into the wall. Then I'm going to tie the end of my rope around it. And then I'm going to try and shoot a crossbow bolt with the end of the rope on it. And then slide from the ledge, like the wall, onto the island without going in the water. And I only weigh like 8 pounds. I don't know what I actually weigh, but I'm a goblin, so I only weigh like nothing. So I feel like I should be able to pull my belt off and slide all the way down with this crude strategy. Assuming I can hit the island, which it's an island 20 feet in diameter. I'm hoping that I can.
I'm going to allow this. The only difference is they're not just trudging through the water, they're running. So they're definitely going to get to the island before you, potentially.
Okay.
However, Teera,
Yes.
pick a number between 1 and 100.
88.
Okay. I'm doing a variation on this.
Ooh, okay.
So,
little twisty twist.
That's if the number is that I roll is 3 to 63 or 0 to 13, 63 on up, all the way rolling over 100 to 13.
Okay.
Then something happens to you. If I don't roll that number, something's happening to
happens
Kane.
to Kane.
The number I have rolled is 11.
Oh, it is me.
It
okay,
is you.
Good. I'd rather have it be me.
There is a even though the water is, less than 2 feet deep, there is a something moving below the surface of the water, and you see a very subtle V shape. We see a very subtle V shape heading for you and King, and suddenly this thing slams into your legs, Teera. And I need to...
Hey, Flip.
Yeah?
This is Cari. So, Gary, I might need some healing in fairly short order.
I'm 100% sure this is fine. There was no reason to check the water for problems.
there we go.
No, also, yeah,
Oops,
I was still not a hundo from last time, so...
Okay.
FYI.
This
So
is fine.
I'm assuming that a 40 hits your AC.
Yeah. Yeah,
Something
does.
slams into you, Teera. And powerful, muscular arms wrap around your waist. And you are pulled underwater. And you are pulled below the level of the ground you were standing on. As a dimensional pocket, extra dimensional pocket, magically appears below you, and this creature pulls you down into this space that is full of water and is holding you underwater. At this stage, we are going to need to roll for initiative.
No.
I just realized I don't know what the drowning, suffocating.
I would like to use a pop to re-roll that, please.
To re-roll your
Initiative.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck me. It's better.
What is your con modifier?
Con mod is a +4.
You can hold your breath for 9 rounds.
9 rounds. Got it.
You also will lose a round each time you are critically hit or critically fail a save against a damaging effect. If you speak or attempt to speak, you will use all of your remaining air, and you will fall unconscious and start suffocating.
Shit.
So, 2 pencils. Okay. I need Teera, your initiative.
Okay, it is a 21. I gotta ask real quick. Mechanically, what does suffocating do?
Mechanically, you are running out of air.
Well, okay, so like how many rounds before I'm dead?
9.
Like, that's what 9 rounds.
9 rounds
Okay.
until you run out of breath. When you fall unconscious and start suffocating, you basically have to make a fortitude save at the end of each of your turns. On a failure, you will take 1d10 damage, and on a critical failure, you will die. After each check after the first, the DC increases by 5 and the damage by 1d10, and the effects are cumulative. So once you run out of air, you're screwed.
Okay.
But on your turn, you can attempt to escape the grapple.
Okay.
So, Flip, what's your AC?
29.
29. Kane gets a 28. Die. Going to get a 30. And this guy gets a 38. So it's fitting. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So technically the creature that's holding you is at the top of the order, so I'm going to count that as its first round of initiative. It's grappling you and pulling you into this extra dimensional space, Teera. The next effect is you hear, well, you don't, Teera. You see things sort of from 15 feet below the surface. You can see the glowing red of the moonlight. You can actually see through that distorted underwater look what looks like this glaring, angry red eye staring through this porthole of the well 100 feet above. And you see faintly this reddish glow filling this chamber. And you swear you see a piece of the red detach itself. As the rest of you, Kane and Flip, you see some of the red coalesce into the shape of this ghostly figure that looks a lot like the Rosgadai monks, but is more greatly adorned. As the spirit of Monazusa steps forward.
I warned you to leave this place. If you will not leave, you will stay here forever.
And the spirit of Monazusa is going to let's see, it's gonna
I have a question real quick. Also,
Yes.
I'm sorry to ask so many questions. Weird shit's happening.
just ask you
If
questions.
I were to yell out, presumably would somebody be able to hear me, or is that just you don't know?
If you open your mouth and yell out, you will lose all of your air and immediately fall unconscious and start drowning.
Seems like a terrible idea.
Okay,
that is
well,
part of the
okay,
wording of drowning and suffocating. If you open your mouth to cast a spell or try to speak, you lose all of your air.
Okay.
The very first action is going to be, this creature is going to start with, you watch as it seems to reach out and grab some of the moonlight, this blood moonlight, and coalesce it into its hand, and it just goes and sends a force barrage of three of these things that will automatically strike Kane, who is about to reach the island. Kane is going to take 3d4 plus 3. This is essentially a magic. Well, this is Pathfinder's magic. Kane is going to take 3, 6, and 13 points of force damage. Okay. Yeah, he's going to take 13 points of force damage. And he kind of staggers a bit, but does not fall. And that is going to take us to Flip's turn.
Okay. How far away is Monazusa?
He is hovering above the island. Let's see where did I go. If you're here, he is fine. About 50 feet away.
Okay. We're in a natural. Okay. And can I see the creature that's got Teera or no?
You can see Teera is pulled down below the surface. You can see that this creature, which you can see, is looks to be an Oni.
Oni.
It is an amphibious Oni that has created, in the process of grabbing her, created this pocket dimension. Specifically, it seems to try to drown Teera.
Okay.
So I would say it's about 15 or so feet away from you and 15 feet down underwater.
Okay. The beam of red moonlight is casting a fell glow on the lotus. And as it does, Flip's eyes glow black. His skin starts to ripple with an electric charge, and the moonlight is cut by a black cloud that rolls in and crackles with the power of lightning. And Flip is going to call lightning on Manazusa.
Okay.
Wait, one before I do that, actually.
I'm in the water where you're striking lightning.
No,
I don't want to be struck by lightning again.
Manazus is flying. He's fine.
Okay. Okay.
What is this spell called?
Call lightning? Or
Nothing's-
lightning storm. Lightning storm.
I was gonna say nothing's coming up. Call light.
So basically it's a reflex save, or they take damage.
Okay, Manazusa needs to make a reflex save. What's DC?
Oh god, 29?
Okay.
Yep.
What that was. So this feels both poignant and kind of dirty.
Awesome.
I'm
Love
grabbing the Teera dice that were gifted to me by Cari
Wow.
it.
to roll for Manazusa, because they have this.
That's bullshit.
It could be considered. It could be considered icy, but it also could be considered kind of ghostly, because they glow.
Mostly, yeah, they do glow. They're a very special dice that I gifted you. I'm so
I rolled
glad.
a total of 35 on the save.
Okay. So that is a success. But I'm going to use 3 tomes and make it a failure.
Takes 5 to do that.
Do it, Gary.
Takes 5 to change your fate and increase.
Gary, that is so worth it. Do it.
No, not on this one. That's fine. Okay, so he will
Is there no damage on a save?
there is. I just have to roll it.
Oh yeah, you take it.
Okay, he'll take 12 electricity.
Let's see. Okay. Do that. Fortunately, the lightning, as it comes down and seems to catch him in passing, this lightning sort of rains down around him. As it passes through the moonlight, the lightning becomes red lightning. It strikes the island, and some of it arcs across the island, inching towards the edge of the water, but sort of fizzling out before it hits the water. But you can also see in a in an area around the flower, and it's specifically just around the flower, you see about a 10-foot diameter area that the lightning kind of almost outlining like a dome over top of this flower.
Aha.
Anything else you would like to do, Flip?
No.
That is going to take us to Kane.
I like to think that in Kane's mind right now, he's hearing the words, "Wait, we have to wait. Be patient. What if there's a trap?"
What Kane actually sees is he is less than 20 feet away from the thing he needs to save his daughter. Kane is going to, as he is running, he unhooks the Blessed Reformer, the magical hammer, from his belt.
Dude.
And he begins
Metal.
to spin it like Thor.
Oh.
And he chucks it at Manazusa. So he is going to make an attack.
What a badass. I love it. I love it. I approve.
If it hits. That is a 6 on the die. And he has a plus 21 to hit. That's a 27 to hit. As this hammer goes flying, and you see the spirit of Manazusa reflexively, though it seems as though it probably doesn't need to, kind of dodges back, and the hammer just flies past him, and you hear a splash as it hits the water on the other side. Kane that would be, as it's flying through the air, he crosses the last few feet of water and steps up onto the island, and he's going to dive forward, reaching out to grab at this flower. That is... keeping things open. Where'd my... that is an athletics check. Is a 24 total. As he dives, reaching out. And you don't see this, Teera, but Flip, you see Kane making this dive. And he reaches out, sort of almost like sliding into second base. I don't know why I'm making baseball metaphors first.
I'm so proud of you. It's seeping.
But
it's osmosis.
listen, if I'm gonna make sports metaphors, it's probably gonna be baseball. He's reaching and kind of slides in towards it, and you see his fingers start to reach to close around this flower and grab it. And there's still that faint outline of where the last bits of electricity are arcing from this shield. And as Kane's hand passes into the area of this Black Lotus, he screams a blood-curdling scream, rolls over onto his side, and holds up from his forearm to his fingertips is raw, bloody bone. And he is going to take some damage here.
Hashtag hand stuff.
Yep. There was no way around it when I was planning it.
Nope. Needs to happen.
Hashtag hand stuff. He is going to take. He's only going to take 8 points of damage from that. Or load roll. I mean, a load roll. I rolled low. So he's only going to take 8 points of damage. But he used his attack action, and he actually used 2 stride actions to get there. Or his stride and his athletics sort of leaping thing. So Kane is now lying on the ground, and he's basically been degloved, but there's like nothing left but bloody bone. And he is screaming out, looking in horror at this, as it is finally Teera's turn.
Great. So, first things first, I would like to try to ungrapple myself.
So,
here I go. Is that an athletics check, perhaps?
It is an athletics check. See,
Got a 34 athletics check to ungrapple.
So, believe it or not, a 34 is not enough. Let me check something real quick. I just want to be sure I'm adjudicating this properly. Grapple with athletics, you can go on freehand. This is different.
That's gonna be a
I'm
problem.
gonna see how do you breaking out of a grapple. It's the rules on. Okay, so I believe there's more than once the same time. I'm sorry. This does not appear to work the same way as it does in D&D. So, I can tell you failed the DC, so you are still grappled.
Okay.
But she gets another chance, right?
I was just gonna say that's one.
I mean, you have
Do I
3
get 2 more?
actions, yeah. So I guess you.
Yes. I'm gonna try again.
Let me check something real quick while you roll the dice.
Okay. Okay.
Is it opposed or is it a scale?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You
Gotta be
attempt. So
opposed.
you're using what's called the escape action.
Yes.
You attempt to escape from being grabbed, immobilized, or restrained. Choose one creature, object, or effect and impede to check using your unarmed attack modifier against the DC of the effect. Okay, so this would be the athletics of the creature, and you can use your athletics instead of your attack modifier if you choose. So, which is higher, your attack, your unarmed attack, or your athletic?
Oh, athletics, way
Okay.
higher.
And it's a 1 action, so yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. Here I go. Same fucking thing. One more.
Get one more attempt.
That's worse. I'm still
All
grappling.
right, let me. So you're underwater, so mark down instead of 9, you have
8. I got him.
8.
Got a little thing here that says breath.
But I'm
and I have
actually
little-
checking here. Oh, so I will allow you to retcon knowing this information. By the rules that I just read on escape, even if you're using athletics or unarmed, it's considered an attack action to try to escape. Okay?
Okay.
If you attack while suffocating and drowning, it's reduced by 2 for each attack. So you would actually lose 6
Oh,
instead
absolutely
of
not.
So
Absolutely
instead
not.
of
I would
3,
use
it would
1.
be 6. So you're gonna just do the 1 time and lose 2.
Just the 1 attempt, yeah.
So that takes you down to
Um,
7 instead of.
Shit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess I use that 1, and then I am done. I can't do anything else, really. Yeah.
Flip.
Somebody help me. Help me! Oh my God.
Choose a number. No, it's not that its athletics modifier is 35 or higher. It's the DC is based on its athletics modifier, and then you add 10 to that.
Okay. Yeah, I just.
So its athletics would be technically by that logic would be 25 or higher.
Because it said this is typically the athletics DC of. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the DC is always whatever the score is plus 10.
Sure. Okay. Pick a number 64.
64. Okay. So same rules apply. So in this case, it's 35. I think. No. Let me see what I roll, and then we'll figure out if it's within on either side. You said 64. I rolled a 59, so it is within. You are one lucky little goblin. Because another Oni comes shooting through the water and critically fails in its attempt to grapple you.
Oh my God.
I don't know how these cards are all the way over here. But on a critical fail, that would be considered unarmed. Can't read. These aren't really targeted at enemies. So I'm gonna say, because it critically failed, this one, you narrate this, Flip. How is it that you see this Oni coming and dodge in a way that it is going to get hurt in its attempt to grapple you?
So it flies out of the water toward me.
Yep, it's leaping out.
Take a step to the side, and it face plants into the wall.
Oh, not only that, because it critically failed, as you sidestep, what's in the wall right behind you?
A statue of darkness.
No. What did you just put into the wall?
Piton. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It slams right into this piton and impales its face. And you see this creature hit and then slump. And there's a wet tearing sound and a spray of blood as it falls backwards into the water and sinks just below the surface. A cloud of red beginning to mingle with the red glow of the moonlight.
Badass.
Monazusa's having none of this and is going to make an attack at you, Flip. I'll need you to make a reflex save. As again he grabs moonlight. This time the moonlight seems to burst into red flame as he hurls a ball of fire at you.
32.
Damn. Badass.
Where's his spell? DC. Okay. So you beat the DC. That's half damage for As this fireball explodes against the wall behind you, that is 13. So it was 26. It's reduced to 13 fire damage.
As the fire scorches Flip's skin, he does a bit of a moonwalk and reduces it by 5.
Awesome.
Because remember, he's got his anti-fire dance on.
Well done. Well done.
You're welcome.
That was 2 actions.
We were all gifted by that display.
I mean, you're blessed.
I didn't see it, so.
That's too far away.
Don't worry. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay, and that can't do that. You just hear, as the fireball erupts, you hear him.
Curses!
And then he looks downward at Kane below him. And he is going to attack Kane with a claw attack as his hand just sort of elongates into sharp fingers. You've got to be kidding me. I rolled another nat 1 on your stupid dice, Teera.
Yes.
Apparently,
You're
this is what happens
welcome.
when one of
I
your
sent
players,
you loaded ass dice.
when one of your players gifts you dice and you try to use them against them. It's called bad karma.
Karma's a bitch. I should have known better. I'm happy.
Well, that doesn't
I sent
work.
Gary dice too. They're tiny and green, like Flip.
Wow. So the description is dumb, but fits. Hangnail. If you attacked with a claw or fist, you can't use that attack until the end of your next turn. So he can no longer, for the next round, can't use his attack. Flip. You're up.
So what did he say when he cast a fireball at me? You broke up, so I didn't know exactly what he said.
He just said, "I told you to leave this place." He really doesn't want you here.
Okay.
Shit.
Flip is gonna say, "Okay, Boomer," and he's gonna cast another lightning bolt.
Awesome.
And as he casts a lightning bolt, he's gonna say, "My turn."
You're not gonna like this. I rolled a nat 20 on the same die.
Okay. So what's your total save?
The total save reflex?
Yep.
40.
Okay.
I believe that's a critical success, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gary, we could move him down to a normal success. Remember that.
We could. But
I don't know. I don't know what the math is on your end, but I just.
It's not the right spell.
Okay.
And then Flip's gonna cast Cone of Cold.
Okay. That
So another reflex saving throw, please.
38.
38. Okay, we will reduce that to a failure.
Okay. They're spending
And-
5 to reduce that.
Yep. And so he's gonna take
Whoops. They just activated. Did
38.
something. There we go.
That's a failure by success. So he would still take half, but now he's taking full. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, you turned a
so-
success into a failure.
42 cold damage.
Whoa. So. Okay. Okay.
Hopefully somebody else will do something at some point. But
Kane, assuming you're done,
I am.
Kane is going to Kane is going to I am trying to find. He's going to use the rage of his damage. His damaged hand. And he is going to this is actually gonna be the first time you see this. As he is going to I gotta find it. There we go. Kane rolls over, looks up, howling in pain at this spirit that's hovering above him. And he howls with a rage that echoes around the chamber as he transforms into a wolf.
Yes, so smart.
And he is going to leap at he gets 5 temporary hit points. And he is going to leap up at Montezus's spirit. And he is going to that's gonna be going to be a 34 to hit. As he leaps up and rips at this thing, the spirit, he's going to do 11 points of piercing damage. He gets 2 additional damage from the raise, so 13. He attempts another bite. The second bite is going to miss. And his third bite is going to be minus 10. His third bite's going to miss. But he did do 13 points of piercing damage. You do notice, Flip, as he lands, his wolf form has the right front paw is skeletal. That's going to take us to Teera under the water.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go ahead and just try to escape again. Here I go. Ungrappling. That's a 35.
How do you break free?
Yes. Oh my god.
From this
okay,
Oni and rise to the surface?
I imagine Teera is like tried to just like burst the first time and it didn't work. Like she's just not as strong as this thing. And so what she does finally is she gets like one hand free and she reaches over her shoulder and just fucking goes for the eyes. Like just fucking drives her hand right into this thing's eyes and makes it let go.
And you feel the resistance you would expect from poking anybody or anything in the eyes, and it releases you involuntarily, and you just surge towards the surface, and there's just this as you break free. And that's not, I'm not even going to use a stride action because that's literally buoyancy.
Okay, yeah.
So you escape from the grapple. You are at the surface. You are no longer drowning, and you have 2 actions left.
I have 2. Okay, great. I guess so. I look around and I see what's happening.
You see a wolf on the eye.
I would imagine I've seen Kane in his wolf form before, so this is a very familiar wolf. But why is his hand bony? And then do I see Flip?
Yeah, Flip's where he was originally. I don't think he's moved.
Okay. I guess in this desperation, Teera would call out Avaxiel. And he said I could call on his name one time.
I wondered.
I'm gonna do it.
I've been wondering for so long if you
If I remembered,
were going to remember that you could summon Avaxiel. The
I have
words
I have the
barely,
little coin.
as you burst through the surface, take in the scene, and in seconds realize how desperate this plight is. The words are barely past your lips when you taste the sulfur. You smell the brimstone, and the water and the red moonlight. Water begins to rise, and the moonlight seems to enter into it, and the two meet. Steam begins to rise, and you see water go.
Yeah.
And in the position of pure grandeur and vanity, Avaxiel, in his full pit fiend form.
I knew you wouldn't be able to resist for long. For
I
what
like to imagine he
reason do
said
you
that.
summon me?
And Teera just like points. She's still like getting her breath back after this freaking affair. And she just like points at Monazusa. And then she just does this. I like to imagine he comes in and he's like, "What have you summoned me for? Holy shit!" Like, at the
I think it's
of
less
us.
that and more it's it looks over and goes,
Oh, is that all?
Oh, that's great. I love that he's confident. Let's
for-
go, King.
for
Say less,
reference,
fam.
pit fiends are level 20 demons. So
Monazusa is a level 15
roll me a d20.
dickweed. D20, here we go. 8.
8 plus his initiative is 45.
What a stud. What a stud muffin. Let's go.
Which means he's up because he's at the top of the order now.
Yep.
I was hoping for that to buy me a minute here.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm trying to see. Okay, roll me a d20.
Okay. 17.
So that is a 57 to hit. Roll me another d20.
7.
So that is a
47.
30. Well, you got to do the penalty.
Oh,
So that
yeah.
becomes a 31 to hit. Roll me one more.
God damn it.
Sorry, that's a 41, not a 30.
So
Would you roll?
yeah, that's another 7. That's another 7. I was
Okay,
just
that's
doing
a
some mental
37.
math.
All three of
Yeah.
these are going to hit.
Good.
So I'm going to do a little math on my side while you roll me 4d10.
Okay.
You get ready to roll some dice.
I'm
This
right,
is your
boy.
pit fiend. This is your favor. So,
I'm so
sorry. I want you to roll me 8d10.
8d10. And you need a total, I assume?
I need a total, yes.
Okay.
Then I'll roll the d6s. Because he gets evil damage on either one of these. Or on both
Okay.
of these.
That's a Are you ready for the number? I don't want to throw you off.
Yep.
38 damage
So 38
or whatever this is for.
And then I rolled 6d6 because each one of those attacks did 2d6 evil damage. For a total of 22. That means that in one round, Avaxiel has done 111 points of damage. As he just swoops over and begins to tear into this spirit. And he seems to be almost bored. You know that scene in The Matrix when Neo's realized his full power? Yeah. Agent Smith attacks him and he's just turned sideways and just goes... This is Avaxiel. Yeah. He's just like, almost with surgical precision, tearing into this thing.
Wow. Awesome.
A 934. Another Oni is going to burst out of the water, and it is going to grapple the wolf and pull it under. It rips it off of the island, rolls away with its arms around the wolf. You hear this howling yelp, and then the wolf disappears below the surface of the water. Flip. No, sorry, Monazusa's up. Monazusa is going to... I wanted to do this last time. No, I can't hit trap anymore. This is going to be... Ooh, gee. I gotta see if the 15 has any immunities, physical. Okay, so Monazusa is forced to use one of his more powerful spells against the Pit Fiend. He is going to cast Howling Blizzard. Freezing wind extends from his hands, pushing away with great force. This is going to... Where's the damage? Range and area burst. Oh, geez. This is going to potentially hit... he's casting it with 3 actions, so it has a 500-foot range. And... Oh, no, sorry, he doesn't need to do that. Because it's 60 foot is greater than the distance of the room. And it's a 60-foot cone, so Teera and Flip are going to get caught in this as well. I need reflex saves.
Wait, I'm like 40 feet away.
It's a 60-foot cone.
I'm still on the ledge.
It's a 60-foot cone.
All right.
60.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why you and Teera are caught.
So, reflex save?
Yep.
34?
I suppose I should look at what his spell save DC is. That is a save, so you'll take half damage. What do you got, Flip?
I used a tome, and I got a critical success.
You'll take no damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 10, 21 plus. That's 31, 34. You said you succeeded, Teera?
I did.
So you're going to take 17 points of cold damage.
I also have cold resistance 5, so that.
So yeah, so you'll knock down to 12. And our friend Avaxiel is going to take. Let's see, what's it? I rolled a 3 on his reflex save, and he still beat it with a 35.
He doesn't need.
He just takes it and just kind of goes. That now takes us to Flip.
Okay. We have a basic reflex from Monazusa, please.
Basic
Yeah.
reflex from Monazusa is going to be a 28.
That is a failure.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
And he will take 37 points of lightning damage to the face
Ooh.
as another bolt of red lightning
To the face.
strikes him.
Math here.
Hell yeah, bud. Hell yeah, bud.
You
Scotty.
see as this lightning hits him, you see his form is struggling to maintain itself.
No! This cannot be!
And then I'm going to make a spell attack roll. Is 36 a hit?
Yes.
Damn.
It's not a critical hit, is it?
No, it is not.
What did I roll? I rolled a d4. Where's that? And as he is, his form is deconstructing, and his atoms are splitting apart, and the fabric that's keeping him tied to this plane begins to shred. Flip winks at him and then gives him a finger gun and shoots him for 50 points of electricity damage with a chromatic ray.
Oh my god.
Flip the Goblin, how do you want to end Monazusa?
Yes! Way to be, Gary! Fuck yeah, dude!
So Flip is going to say, "It can be." And then, like a hero, he's going to fly across his rope toward the island.
Oh my god.
And that lightning tears into him. And as his spirit disintegrates, Avaxiel looks over and just goes,
Oh, man. I was hoping to drag him to hell. Hold on a minute.
and Avaxiel disappears below the water.
I was gonna say, there's an Oni in the water if you're really looking
And-
for something.
Like 5 seconds later, in one hand, he pulls the sodden wolf form of Cain, who, as he hits the island, you see him transform back into Cain on his knees. In his other hand, he's holding, like it's nothing, by the scruff of its neck, he's holding an Oni. And he looks over at you and says,
Do you mind?
No, it's all yours.
and he literally just rips it in half and throws the halves into the water.
Ooh. Oh.
That was fun.
All right.
Cain is wet and lying in pain, holding this necrotic hand. Somehow you can see the fingers are still like almost clutching into a fist. The bleeding seems to have stopped. It almost looks like when Avaxiel picked him up that he either intentionally or not cauterized the wound. But Cain is in a lot of pain. Cain,
I don't know what's worse, the bacon stench of his burnt flesh or the caustic nature of wet dog.
It's the wet dog smell. I can't stand it.
Teera looks. Is there still this dome over the lotus?
You can't really see it, but
Oh.
Avaxiel turns and looks at Flip and down at Cain.
He tried to grab the flower, didn't he?
Yep.
It's an anti-life shell. Rookie mistake, pup.
As he kind of tilts his head sideways at the whimpering Cain. Cain just kind of hesitatingly, but he's still kind of reaching towards it. I need it.
Wait.
Flip is he's gonna look up at Teera And he's gonna say, "I've got an idea." And he's gonna say, "Hold my pack," and he reaches out his pack to her.
I do. I hold it.
And there's like a book, sort of just there's like a book that's sort of peeking out, and he goes sort of like right up to the edge of the anti-life shell, and he's like, I'm gonna make a check, a bardic lore check.
Awesome.
That is a 27.
What are you attempting to? What are
I
you?
just want to know what I know about anti-life shells. Has that been written up before?
Yeah, with that, you tap into your knowledge of, you dabbled in some necromancy from time to time, and
Parties and stuff.
yeah.
You know.
And you know that this type of magic, for it to be permanent, was a powerful spell, and that it prevents any living thing from passing through to the other side. Physical objects seem to be able to move through, but any living thing that passes through it, well, you've seen what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say,
Flip.
with that, you would also be able to put two and two together, that Montezuma, being in spirit form, had the freedom to pass through it being unaffected because he was undead.
Right. Flip is he's gonna look back at Teera, and he's gonna smile, and he's gonna say, "This is gonna make a great story," and he's gonna step into the anti-life shell. And all you can hear from the inside is "Mother." And after a moment, it's sort of quiet.
It's obscured too.
Reaching out, so you can't see anything on the inside.
No, as you step through, the moonlight filters in, and it becomes this dome of red that you can't even see Flip on the inside.
And so there's sounds like something's breaking, and after a few minutes of silence, coming from the edge through the inside of the anti-life shell is a large gray fist holding the leaves of the blood lotus.
And that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna cry for real. Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna cry for real. Wow, guys, that's so good.
Remember last
Holy
week
shit.
when it was mentioned
When you were
that
fucking
we were
conspiring? I do remember that. I do.
We didn't do any of that.
Oh.
We never conspired. This
is just.
This
Wow.
is the end of the penultimate episode.
Holy shit.
I'm not gonna say, I'm resisting the urge to epilogue. You're going to have to wait until the finale, and I want to say until next week, but I think it's going to take a little longer. There is a very strong chance that we're going to have to coordinate with some folks and pre-record our finale. It may end up being a longer session than we want to run on a Monday night. And there may or may not be more than just two people sharing the screen with me. So we've got to figure out how that's going to work. I still call it the penultimate because there's also a chance that the finale will be more than one part. It wouldn't be more than two. But we've got some logistics to figure out on that. I really couldn't plan anything until I knew where and how the quest to achieve the Black Lotus was going to end. A couple dice rolls are all that
Yeah.
saved Kane, and actually a Vaxio was a clutch call.
Thank you.
He did
Thank you.
111 points of damage, which meant that 50 points that you dealt to him was about 20 points overkill. Which, of course, is great when you're trying to kill something. So
Yeah, overkill is awesome when
Yeah.
we're trying to kill.
I was a little worried because you were fighting a level 12 creature that had a lot of hit points, and he was making a lot of saves, and you were dealing smaller amounts of damage. And then you called in a Vaxil, and I'm looking at what he can do, and I was like, holy crap. He had a plus 40, plus 35, plus 30 on with his penalties. So every single attack, as long as you rolled a 2 or better, was going to hit.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for a Vaxial, right? Like I had one once in a lifetime or not. I don't remember what we said.
He told you that one time you can summon him. And
Yep.
you summoned him.
So that's it.
So he is no longer in your debt.
Worth it. Hashtag worth it.
Yeah,
Just
so
like Gary breaking his
I'm
camera
still
to
sitting-
show the D20 that one
I'm
day.
still sitting here biting my tongue because I keep wanting to say more, but I'm holding it for the finale.
We're not done yet.
This is 103 episodes. Plus,
Wow.
we did something like 10 or 12 of those interludes in a special episode. So we've done something like 115 episodes of this campaign in 3.5 years. And we are going to end on episode 104, having done round 116. I've only had one other campaign that had a combined total that was more than that.
Holy shit. Oh. That's
So
gonna be-
yeah, this
wow.
was
amazing. Great job.
it hasn't
Great
fully
job.
hit me yet. I
Very-
think the finale's where it's going to hit me, that this is the end. But this was a pretty epic finale fight. One last peek.
So badass.
The last 3 tracks that
What?
played in order, just looking at the track list because I thought it was interesting, was when you were making your lore check, it was called something about the last memory of legends or something like that. So I thought that was fitting.
Oh.
As you were narrating that scene, it was a track called Fallen Legend.
Oh.
And then the last track that was just playing, which is after the credits have rolled for this episode, so it's not quite relevant, but it's called Fading Hope. I think that was relevant earlier, but yeah. Thank
Still-
you.
Oh my god.
Thank you all for hanging out. Shout out to Monty DL, who made a 3-stream watch streak. Apparently watch streaks are a thing now. I didn't know that.
Yay.
That's cool.
I didn't know that.
And as always, Cari supplying herself with domain tones.
We needed it though.
We appreciate that.
We needed those.
Thank you to everybody tuning in to watch with us. Hanging out in the chat. We appreciate that. If you've missed any episodes, of course, everything and for all of our games, you can catch our episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/mini-terrain domain. All VODs are available there. They're on Twitch for a little while too. If you like to lurk quietly in the background, or you're watching later on one of those VODs, know that we appreciate you and we hope you enjoy shows. But a huge thank you, as always, to these players. We've been prolonging the final episodes. Things have been happening that have prevented us from playing regularly for the last few weeks. I jokingly said, hey, if we never play again, it never technically ends. So we will have
Like what purgatory
information.
is.
If somebody could drop the Discord link, if you're here and you don't know where Discord is, where our Discord is, come join us at the Mini Terrain Domain Discord, and I will have some information in the public Scribes and Scrolls channel to let you know when the finale is coming, and we'll put stuff out on Twitter and other social medias, Twitter, Blue Sky, Reds, Gram, all that stuff, to let you know when the finale comes. We hope to see you there when we bring this story to an end in the not too distant future. One final announcement before I say my absolute final thank yous, because I forgot to mention it at the top. We do have Scribes, or sorry, this was Scribes and Scrolls. We have our Kids on Bikes, Welcome to Paradise Academy Season 2 will be on Thursday. It'll be episode 26 of Season 2. We don't know when the season's going to end. I don't have, like, it's not like TV where there's like 24 episodes and then you're done. It goes as long as it needs to for the story to be told. We have this will be our 4th episode with our guest player Craig, Doghammer, who has been amazing as TJ Adkins, the son of a Coast Guard lieutenant commander.
A-hole.
TJ or his dad?
No, I
little bit of
think his
both.
dad. No, TJ is fine.
But
TJ
also
might be an a-hole too, though. He's
Yeah.
chosen a side.
But also, no, we'll also have more information when this game does end eventually in the not too distant future. There will be a new Pathfinder 2 adventure and group of gamers right here on this time slot. We'll have more information about that. And we had to postpone it. It was originally going to start this week. In 2 weeks, we will be premiering a brand new stream on Tuesday nights opposite on the Tuesdays opposite
Sky Metal.
Thank you. We
You're welcome.
will be having sorry, I'm trying to vamp a little bit while I try to find what Marquise titled this thing. Oh, here it is. This will be a game called Scavenger Death at Dusk. It is a campaign DM'd by
Badass.
Marquise of Shardstone Assembly, the author, one of the authors and publishers of the Scavenger 5th edition RPG setting. And it will feature 2 players, myself and Lloyd, the RLDM. That's it. That is our campaign. That will be very intense. There will be content warnings on that one.
Love it.
Only because it's going to be very intense role play, and there's going to be some very intense. I also expect a very cerebral game, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned for everything, I guess. Thank you so much, Gary and Cari, not just for tonight, but for 3.5 years. You two were here at the beginning, and you're still here again. So it's very fitting that the two who were competing for attendance in the beginning are the last two standing, even though between the two of you, you know who the winner is.
Yeah.
With
Yes,
that,
we do.
thank you, Gary and Cari, without whom this would have been me talking to myself for the last 3.5 years, and the last couple hours. I'm not going to call it. I'll say that again at the end of the last episode, but for the last couple hours, this would have been me talking to myself. So with that, we're going to end the stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want.
Metadata.
Metadata.